Volleyball here in San Francisco. They had a good finish in Dallas. Everybody said, so what? They had a second place later on in Phoenix, but here they are beating the Kings of the Beach in San Francisco to win the winners bracket. They will be in our finals. Wes Welch and Troy Tanner are for real, David Letterman.
All right, the Kings of the Beach have lost again. They will come from the contenders bracket. Let's update the rest of the tournament. Some surprises.
Hey, this has been one of the most surprising and, for me, pleasing weeks on the tour, not just because we're in beautiful downtown San Francisco. A couple of younger guns getting out on the beach and doing a phenomenal job. Dane Blanton and Lee LeGrand out of Pepperdine University. The highest finish in the history of the AVP for a qualifier. Phenomenal young players. They will be a team to be reckoned with, we hope, in the future. Another team that really deserves some recognition, Kevin Martin and Chris Young, who were ahead of Karch Kirai and Kent Steffes just last week, eventually lost to them. 7th place finish back-to-back. You say, hey, 7th, who cares? That's a top finish. And then the disappointment of the week, the Tidy Bowl team of the week, unfortunately, after 3rd last week in San Jose, Brent Frohoff and Ricky Ludes, like Mike Whitmarsh and Mike Dodd before them last week, they went down and had a terrible performance this week.
All right. Who else is in our show today? Of course, Stokey and Johnson. They have fought their way back through the contenders bracket, and we are going to see them. Just moments ago, Johnson and Stoklos going up against Dodd and Whitmarsh. This was the final play. Time running out. Stoklos, the loopy, and the score. They will play Karch and Kent.
Stoklos and Johnson are playing extremely well, and we're on synthetic beach, and I think that really helps Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos because they serve the ball so well. Their service game is really helped by this hard-packed, synthetic, beautiful beach.
7 in a row for Karch and Kent, trying to make it 8. Once again, they will have to win a double final. If they get by our semifinal, how well are they?
Oh, they're okay.
Yeah.
They're okay. Wes Welch and Troy Tanner are for real. It's a good team.
Yeah.
They lost to them, but Karch and Kent are in better shape than anybody else on the tour. There's no question about that. Playing an extra game or two is not going to affect them. What they've got to do is find ways to score when they're in trouble. They're not really executing well, getting out of trouble when it presents itself to them. Of course, they haven't had to face much since they got together some years ago. This is going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to it.
Can anybody knock off the Kings of the Beach and get them out of here? Stay with us.
We could.
We'll find out. Stay with us.
You take it, Chris.
Okay, Dancing Marvin Hall is up. He's not allowed to dance while he's refereeing, so don't expect that. And little Johnny Featherstone is our umpire. John Featherstone, coach of El Camino Junior College, a football powerhouse in Southern California, so there won't be much arguing with this officiating crew. A football coach and a dancing specialist. Kent Steffes will serve first. Timeout board. The timeout board. There is Steffes.
Once again, folks.
He is 4th on the all-time win list, 6'4", 210 pounds, just 25 years old, and the youngest millionaire in the club.
Good luck, gentlemen, and
he just won his 63rd open win. Ron Von Hagen saw the show, and he said he liked it a lot, and he was really happy with what Kent said about joining him as a 63 winner. So Randy Stoklos will tap first, and Karch and Kent perform kind of a version of the husband and wife play.
That's definitely hubby-wife.
Well, it's not a serve, really, but...
No, but that's okay. It applies off the soft block. It was like suspended in time hubby-wife. That was a long hubby-wife.
No communication on that play. Adam Johnson serving 1 game to 15 to go into the final. Karch and Kent should be a little sluggish coming out, we would think. They were sitting in the players' tent and cooling off. Johnson and Stoklos should come out warmed up, at least.
Well, they've had a long trek back. There's Karch Kirai, best player in the history of the sport, and he's got his pink hat with him.
Right. Never goes anywhere without the pink hat. It's been lucky for him. Stoklos stumbling a bit. Whip it over to Johnson. Stoklos has it up. Good set. And Stokey puts it away. Little dust flying off the court here in San Francisco. Randy Stoklos is 33 years old, 6'4", 220. He is the first member of the Millionaire Club. That was back in 1992. Kind of an interesting chase between Kirai and Randy Stoklos. Of course, Stoklos with the all-time money winnings, $1,402,565. Steffes to serve, no score. Stoklos, and he beanballs one.
Unloading again on this very hard-packed synthetic San Francisco downtown beach. I think it gives the advantage to Randy Stoklos and Adam Johnson because they rely so much on their serving. AJ won his first tournament back in 1991 in Santa Barbara with Pat Powers and has been a consistently top performer, but would like a few more wins, maybe today.
Interestingly, 5 of his 10 career wins have come with Kent Steffes, the most of any partner, and he'll serve his former partner. Here comes Steffes, and Steffes pounds down the line.
By Kent Steffes.
So now, Steffes will go to the net, and Karch Karai will serve. Karch's career earnings $1,385,963. Karch is just behind Stoklos by $16,602. So Karch, with a win this week and a win next week, would go ahead of Randy Stoklos, depending on Stoklos' finishes. Karch beanball, yeah, it's jumping beach today. Seniors are getting up.
Absolutely, that's going to be one of the determining factors. Of course, the conditions always a big deal out here on the beach. AJ blocking, going for the Kong.
Yeah, the mini Kong.
Absolutely, was a mini Kong.
Of course, his partner.
I want to point out, Chris, that Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos lost to Wes Welch and Troy Tanner in the quarterfinals. They've been playing back through the losers bracket since 9th place. They played a lot of games already today.
And they look very fresh still. Johnson.
Come on.
Bangs it. Kent. Karch. Kent. Johnson. Blocked by Karch. Out of bounds. So a needed side out for Johnson and Stoklos. Good hustle by the Kings of the Beach on the other side.
There's been a lot of intensity around this entire tournament. We saw that earlier with the Brazilians. We'll talk to you more about that when they played Karch and Kent. But Karch, Kent, Karch. And then AJ getting lucky here, using Karch. But I'll tell you, AJ has been hitting the ball very hard and unloading.
There was some fireworks in the Karai-Steffes Brazilian match. Paul, explain.
Well, Karai and Steffes, a hard-fought match against the Brazilians. And the Brazilians, really a good sign for them to play well because that's been missing certainly from the tour.
No one.
Nobody there except Karch.
Old pinky hat.
Stokey blocks it. Steffes. Johnson digs it. Can he put it away? Yes! The crowd is alive in San Francisco.
Hey, this tournament has been alive, and to finish the point on the Brazilians, it was very close, 12-10. There was some controversial calls, and Anginho, after a long rally like this, he must have been thinking, you know, Brazil, the World Cup is coming to California, coming to the United States, I should say. He kicked the ball about 50 yards outside the court, automatic red card, complained again and again, red carded his team right out of the match. They eventually finished 5th after advancing to the semifinals. But it was exciting.
Yes, it certainly was, and the Brazilians were hot. And the Brazilian press was hot.
Absolutely, and the kick was a little wide right.
No score, semifinal. Randy Stoklos and Adam Johnson, Karch Karai and Kent Steffes for the 3rd straight week. But this is to advance to the final. Troy Tanner and Wes Welch waiting and resting. No! Kent serves it a mile out of bounds, and we'll take timeout. Coming back, we're scoreless. Steffes, and he said, I got criticized a little for saying that I like Rush Limbaugh. Said the liberals and the feminists were all over me.
Well, what do you expect?
Stoklos. Stoklos has never hit harder than he is hitting right now.
No, let's remember it wasn't so long ago that Randy Stoklos had surgery off-season on that shoulder. Whatever rehab he has done is working. Does actually a lot of surfing to build up the strength in his shoulders and the flexibility.
Stoklos in great condition this year. Short shank, Steffes, and Steffes sizzles it across court.
Cut shot from the right side by Kent Steffes.
So Karch will have it. Karch and Kent have won 7 straight. That's their best streak since 1992 when they won the 13 in a row. Last year they had a great year, but the best they could do was 6 in a row. So Karch and Kent doing better this year. And Johnson walking hard down the line.
The surface is a launching pad. It's a beautiful court. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
It's the same for Steffes and Karai. It's just that AJ and Stokey seem to really be taking advantage, and I think it helps the better serving team, and that's Stoklos and Johnson.
That serve out of bounds. Score remains of 4-0. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, Stoklos and Johnson, Karai, Steffes.
As evidence of focusing on serving, trying to make it tough. AJ and Stokey have already missed 4 serves, but I think the way they're siding out, they don't mind missing that many and really putting some pressure on Karai and Steffes.
See how hard Steffes hits this one. Not too bad. Remember last week, it was actually the setting of Randy Stoklos that betrayed Johnson and Stoklos.
And if you were going to put out a list of 10 things of how Johnson and Stoklos could possibly lose, I'll tell you, Stokey's setting would never make that list. There you see the signals from Randy Stoklos, where he will block line or angle. 1 for line, 2 for angle. Fist, he'll take the ball.
Stoklos, Johnson can't get there.
Getting back to that final in San Jose, Stoklos, who I think is the best setter of all time on the beach, threw at least 4 balls that I can remember in the finals, and that was really the determining factor. Look at Stokey dropping his hand way into the cross court. He's moving his hands, blocking better. AJ almost there on the defensive play.
Marvin Hall holding it up for a moment. And here we go, 4-0. Kings of the Beach haven't scored a point yet. And Stoklos goes on too. So a nice play by Stoklos. You said he is the best setter of all time. I talked to Ron Von Hagen this week and asked him what he thought. He said Stoklos is a great setter. From his era, they talk about Gene Selznick and Henry Bergman as 2 of the great hand setters of all time. He said Selznick was the easiest ball to hit, and he could set from anywhere. Gene Selznick, that is.
I'm not, I'm just offering an opinion. Okay. And obviously, those guys were before my time.
No, he wanted to nominate a couple of guys.
No, I don't mind that. Obviously, I respect anything Ron Von Hagen has to say about beach volleyball.
Now, here is Steffes. And the errant toss. Score remains 4-0. Johnson and Stoklos lead the Kings of the Beach. See Stokey take that with his hands. Wind really gusting. Nice shot! And Steffes tries to poke it over. What a shot by Adam Johnson. Little dinky.
Okay, a pretty good shot. I'll give you that.
That was a great shot.
Wait a minute. That thing landed at mid-court. How does Steffes not get to this ball? Look at this. There's Steffes. Wait.
Good deception.
Look, he hadn't moved yet.
Deception.
He hasn't moved yet.
That's because it was deception. Deceptive. D-E-C-E-P.
Steffes has got to get that ball.
Steffes gets it through.
Now, I expect Ken Steffes to get that ball. I know we set some pretty high standards for them, and why not? They're the best team on the beach right now. But I thought he should have had that ball.
That's interesting you say that, Paul, because I got a little letter to read for you here when we get just a second. We're going to, at 4-0.
I've heard of ambush marketing.
Ambush marketing. I've got a little something for you. Yeah, we're going to get it in here, too. Karch whacks it out of bounds. Going to take a quick timeout. We're coming back. 4-0, Stoklos and Johnson. Inaugural event, and it's a beautiful sight and a great day. And excellent semifinal action so far. Karch and Kent are losing 4-0, but nobody's betting against them yet. Kent drips it down the line.
By Kent Steffes.
Okay, I got a letter. It says, this is for Paul Sunderland. Why are you always getting on Kent Steffes? When things go bad for Karch and Kent, you always say it's Kent's fault. I would be willing to bet if K&K were not partners, Kent would win as many tournaments as Karch. What do you say to that, Sunderland? And I want to send a T-shirt to... Well, heck, where's his name? He didn't even...
Oh, you paid him to write the letter, don't you? You already sent him a check.
Ralph Bjorner from San Diego, California, XXL. This is a big guy who wants to know why you're always ragging on Steffes. Answer in a second. And Steffes, he gets the ace. According to Sunderland, not a very good serve, but it is 4-1. We'll take a turn.
Don't put words in my mouth.
And we're coming back. Sunderland, capacity crowd, standing room only, watching semifinal action. Ken Steffes, Karch Karai, trailing Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos by a point, 4-3 in our semifinal. Wes Welch, Troy Tanner up next. And Steffes is in the bottom of the net.
Good 20-second timeout. Freeze him just a little bit, take away some of the momentum. All but 1 point so far out of the 7 has been scored from the good side. That's the side that Karai and Steffes currently occupy. Means they're downwind. The ball is much truer in its course to them. Easier to control the ball.
And Johnson whacks a long jump serve. Service error. And now Karch will have it. Asked Karch about the 13 in a row. How disappointed was he? He said, no, I wasn't that disappointed. It's appropriate to leave the record with Greg Lee and Jim Menges. I said, how about this time? He said, no, I think we'll have to wait and see. Karch is very guarded when he talks about records and accomplishments. He just wants to go out and play well, and he's really mad if he doesn't.
Well, I don't think either Karch or Kent. I think one of their strengths is that they take everything just one play at a time, one game at a time, one tournament at a time, and thinking out to that streak is just not in the mix right now.
I've already done some mixing on it, Paul. It's going to happen if Karch and Kent continue to win. The climactic 14th straight tournament would come in Belmar, New Jersey. And that will be obviously a little later in the summer. See the service errors, 12 of them adding up. Yabba dabba doo. Stoklos is off the net. And it is out. Johnson thought he saw a putty tad.
I thought I saw it move too.
Line did not move. Cry, score tied 4-all.
Line did not move.
Marvin Hall saying no line movement.
Stokey caught the top of the tape here from way off the net. Now watch the rope. There's no way Karch can get there. It's just tough to tell there. Just tough to tell, but very, very close. The linesman definitive about his out call, and Marvin
had a pretty good look at it. It bounced high off the tape.
It was
he would have overruled.
Yeah, very slow developing play. Lots of time for 4-4 to make the adjustment.
Steffes, beautiful dig. Karch rolls him up just a bit. And Johnson is running. Wow, is he running? He got there! Oh, and Stokey's into the net.
Stoklos falls short.
Lynn brought that ball back for a moment. And Karai and Steffes have the lead, 5-4.
Look at this run. Look at the turf. Look at it. AJ, he's got to look to see where the banners are. The wind helped him.
Fast.
Yeah, the wind helped him because it really blew the ball back. But I'm with you. AJ looks much quicker this week.
Nice shot. Good cut shot there. If there is a weakness for Adam Johnson in terms of this foursome, it might be his setting. He does not set the ball as well as Karai, Steffes, and Stoklos.
Yeah, but I think his setting is serviceable. Stoklos does not need a perfect set. He needs a ball in a consistent area where he can get a good swing at it. And the way he's passing, I think AJ's setting is perfectly serviceable.
Chance to get a point on the bad side. Great set. Johnson. Oh, he taped it. Karch gobbles it up. See ya. Wow. That's about as good a set as you'll get in transition. And Johnson might be tiring just a bit.
I don't
after that long run,
maybe that run took a little bit out of him, but he should recover from that quite quickly here. But taping that shot from his preferred and former left side.
Karai and Steffes have scored 4 in a row after trailing 4-1. So you can see the difference is going to be, can you score a point or two on the bad side? That's where Stoklos and Johnson are now. That's trouble. Good jam by Adam Johnson. He punched it right through Steffes.
I know that.
Joust coming here. Stoklos and AJ struggling a little bit with their ball control. Simultaneous contact. Karai and Steffes would have had 3 contacts coming after that joust.
Now, I've been told by the officials, Paul, you saw that was kind of an open hand thing. The only time you can open hand is when you're conking or jousting at the net.
And it's got to be simultaneous.
Right. If you go to do that and there's nobody there, you get called for a throw. Johnson is there. This should be a point.
Blue on top of the net.
Nice shot. So AJ and Stokey get their one. And at the end of the first half, it's 5-5. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, the Nestea San Francisco Open. 5-5 is our score to you. And, you know, if Marvin sits on you, if Marvin does sit on you,
you're
look
on
out.
the 15-day disabled,
yeah, you're a goner.
No doubt about it.
Just to explain to the neophytes, Marvin, a big referee. A big referee. We've switched sides. Karai and Steffes, Johnson and Stoklos tied at 5. Johnson and Stokey now back on the good side where they have scored 4 out of their 5 points.
80% of the points scored from the side that Johnson and Stoklos occupy.
Good serve. Bad pass. Shank, Karch goes and gets it, and Steffes can't handle it. Tough serve by Stoklos. Down the line, curling into the breeze.
You can see the difference on the side. You're able to jump serve, hit the ball so much harder. Good top spin into the wind. It's like the court is 2 or 3 feet longer because you can hit the ball so hard and deep into the breeze.
6-5 now, and right down the middle. Karch can't get there. Karai told me that they had not surrendered a hubby-wife play all weekend. And I still don't think they have, because they haven't let it go yet. Pretty good shot into the middle of the court. Now 7-5. And a 20-second sand timeout while Karai brushes off. Ryan Steffes trying to get into the final once again.
2 rocket serves from Randy Stoklos going deep inside seam over Kent Steffes' shoulder.
Karch and Kent have won 49 of the last 62 over 3 seasons, 9 of 10. And of course, that record, the one that Kent thinks is a treasured record, 13 straight wins in 92, trying Greg Lee and Jim Menges. Paul, you played that era. You know that Jim Menges and Greg Lee were an awfully tough team to defeat.
They were a great team. Very, very consistent. Just didn't make mistakes. Tough mentally. Very competitive.
Johnson with a dig, but it's going out of bounds. Greg Lee, now a teacher in San Diego and a basketball coach. And Jim Menges, one of the tour directors, along with Matt Gage here on the AVP tour. Both those guys do a great job. And here is Steffes.
Back to serve.
7-5, Johnson and Stoklos. Troy Tanner and Wes Welch are up next, trying to win their first tournament ever. Stoklos, Papingi. How did you just say that? Said it Papingi or something? He pings one, or what was it?
He pings one, bongs one.
So here is Adam Johnson. Father Philip, originally from Colorado, was a cartoonist for the Denver Post while in college. Brother Chris lives in Colorado and plays in a jazz band called Cold Blue.
Nobody.
Steffes, Stokey with a 70-foot dig. Can he put it away? Jim, Stoklos, Johnson is there. And Stokey got a birthday present. Happy birthday, Stokey!
Strike by Randy Stoklos. And what a kick by Adam Johnson. Oh, my.
Let's check Stokey's birthday. It's not until December, Paul.
Well, they got an early one here. Stokey makes a phenomenal play here. He's just going for the joust here, and then A.J. Reeds covers, and then look at that. The player with arguably the best ball control anywhere with a shank at a crucial juncture of this match. Karai and Steffes now down 3.
8-5 as Karai sets to put the ball in play.
The wind is really swirling now inside this stadium.
You see the time left on the clock. Clock definitely could be a factor in this one. Just 2 minutes and 37 seconds and
9/10.
Of course.
Thank you.
Ace play. Karch and Kent serve up a hobby wife.
And this from the bad side.
Yeah.
That's a very, very big play. If they went down 10-5, if Stoklos and Johnson were able to get all 5 from the good side, they would be behind it.
A difficult decree to take for Stokey and Johnson. Now 8-6, and Karch misses that one. So Johnson and Stoklos will have it. Stokey's last win with Brian Lewis in Chicago last year.
Stokey laying out the marching orders, or at least what he thinks that they should be doing defensively. He's going to come to the net and block. AJ will move around him.
Wow, that looked like it was out. Kent went and got it. Stoklos to Kent. Karch has it up. Steffes, flipper. See ya. What a play by Randy Stoklos, and he is out jacking up the crowd over the corner.
You think he wants the first win of the year? He's used to winning every week. Look at that stuffed block down the line. Karch will give chase, and then the windmill here from Steffes.
Call Don Quixote as a sub. 9-6, Stokey and Johnson. And Stoklos lead 10-6. Stop. Karch brings it up and hooks it over. Karch and Kent maybe energizing just a bit, Paul.
Pretty good hustle play by both of them. You don't see Karch miss 2 plays in a row ball control-wise.
Boy, does he jump quick.
Yeah. Bad set by Karai to start that play.
And you don't see a lot of emotion from Karch often. But Karchi is energized now.
I gotta say it, when we were throwing to break at that last time, you said, I don't think the Kings can do it. And Kent Steffes heard you.
Did he hear me?
And I think you may have done a little bit to fire
around. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Because you can't hold me responsible for that serve.
Why not?
10-7.
He did give you the stink eye.
He did, and I hid behind my big monitor up here. These players have the best hearing.
Yes.
I'm not. They should put them on submarines in the next war or something, you know. Steffes
All those billions of dollars where they have the satellite stations, you know, listening for life on Mars or someplace else. Just put the AVP guys on top of Mount Everest and have them tilt their left ear skyward. They'll tell you when the margins are coming.
Karch will serve. 1:59 to go. Lots of time in volleyball. Stoklos is up, and Stoklos is down.
Boy, he's playing well. Talked about this surface at the very beginning of the match and how it might favor Randy Stoklos and Adam Johnson, mostly from the service line.
That's a pretty tough hit, too.
Yeah, also when it's so much predicated on the power game, which Randy Stoklos is, you know, you get to set 8 feet off the net. You're able to deal with it on this hard-packed surface.
Steffes beans one through. And now Kent will serve. 7 serving 10. Karch and Kent on the good side. Chance for some points.
And cut.
And inside, nice shot by Randy Stoklos.
You talked about Adam Johnson's setting. Yeah, hey, he looks very consistent. Trajectory good, location good, and Randy Stoklos continues to pass the ball up to the net.
That's the key. Stoklos has to pass well so Johnson can get a good bump on there. He's not going to set the ball with his hands most of the time, occasionally. On 2, Johnson sucks it up.
I got it.
Karch has it. Big rally here. Stoklos on the right side. And he whacks it down the line.
Stokey, clever shot on the right. Likes to hit away from his body, and when he's stuck over there, he will give you the slice tap down. AJ, first of all, with a nice play to keep the ball alive. And then Stokey with the tap down. Another point from the bad side.
It hit the antenna. It's out of bounds. Another point for Johnson and Stoklos. Crowd starting to feel it here that the 7 tournament win streak of the Kings of the Beach in heavy jeopardy.
The antenna sits directly above the sideline. If the ball contacts or any part of the ball above it is out of bounds, violation point to AJ and Stokey. They are rolling.
Karch and Kent, maybe one more surge here.
Stokey with only 2 stuff blocks, but lots of deflections, slowing the ball down for AJ to chase.
Johnson and Stoklos, one of the only teams to beat Karch and Kent this year. And Karch puts it away. Karch and Kent have been known for some miracle finishes along the way. They can catch up very, very fast.
They need this 12-8 side switch to get over to the good side. If they switch at 13-7, I don't think they can do it.
Nope, it hit the net. So Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos 3 points away from moving on into our final against Wes Welch and Troy Tanner. See the time remaining, 1:18. Karch. Johnson with a dig. Well, that about sums it up for the Kings of the Beach today. I guess even royalty has to take an off day some of the time.
Tripping, walking down the red carpet up to the throne. And Karch said, you could hear him say, I don't know. And in this situation, boy, to let a ball like that drop, really surprising.
We'll take time out. The Kings of the Beach in deep trouble. Yeah, you've never seen anything like that.
Got to play, you know, you got to play the close ones, especially when you're down like that and have to have, you know, a much closer multiple for the side change.
It is going to take everything the Kings of the Beach have to get by Stokey and Johnson in this one. 1:05 to go. They're trailing by 6. They need aces, they need blocks, they need digs. Johnson, and he wraps it off Karch out of bounds. Johnson and Stoklos, what a story this would be. Coming from 9th place in the quarterfinals.
Under a minute now to play.
With Here's they're going to get back. Let's listen to Stokey.
And then we decided out when I was serving the ball.
Stokey hoping for a time warp where this 59 seconds goes like jet speed.
Well, Randy just checking the time. He was saying, look, it was 1:06 when I served, and they sided out, and then they served, and now it's only 7 seconds gone off the clock. He wants that thing to move.
Johnson goes and gets it.
Maybe the scoreboard will move.
Keeps it in play. Clock is moving. Karch. Stoklos blocking. Back the other way. Steffes is up. And right through Stoklos' cone block. He cheated it through.
Two pretty strong guys. I'll tell you, there was a lot of force. I would hate to be this thing. I'm the volleyball here. I am just about to get thwapped from both sides.
43 seconds to go. 13-7. Johnson and Stoklos have it all but wrapped up.
Karch coming out of the shadows.
Karch took a look up. I don't know if the shadow is a problem. Looks like
it's creeping in over the court, at least on the bad side. You can see it right there, and I'll tell you, later on in our finals, the server on that side will be able to go and hide back there.
Stoklos to Karch. And Karch dunked it over Stokey, who stumbled, never got out of the sand.
Yeah, Stokey lost his footing, or else he would have been right up there, because that set was pretty tight.
36 seconds remaining in the match. 7 serving, 13.
Fans finding it hard to believe Corine and Steffes are going out, it appears. Well, Stokey going. Oh, he got it up.
This play will win the match. The match is over right now because they're going to run off so much time just with this rally.
Stoklos for president of San Francisco. What a play by Johnson and Stoklos. Unbelievable.
What a stab by Stokey.
Johnson and Stoklos, and a great get by
Look at that. Stoklos very, very aware of the clock. Anything just to keep that ball in play. And then AJ sends it way up as well. Took a lot of time off the clock.
Johnson and Stoklos, 23
and the
seconds to play.
finality of the play, and Karch hit it out. So Corine and Steffes not at the best of their game today, but Johnson and Stoklos certainly are. This is the best we've seen them play all year. Karch goes on 2.
Playing
a little fast break volleyball right here, trying to get the side out without the third contact, save a precious few seconds.
So Johnson and Stoklos just have to avoid aces now,
yeah.
And they've got it wrapped up. If they can pass it and just poke it over. Well, there's an ace. Karch rams it hard. That play took about 1.5 seconds. So plenty of time for more. 8 serving 13.
Yeah, wasn't it on 20 when they served?
No, it was 18.
Okay. The clock doesn't stop until the ball lands.
Right.
It's not as soon as it passes outside the playing area.
Supposedly.
Right.
But the clock operators, they're
okay.
not sure.
Okay, well, I know what the rules are. I thought there were 20 seconds on the clock when Karch served that ball, now 16.
Let me tell you something. If there were 20 seconds, Stoklos would be really mad. He would be talking to the official, Marvin Hall, I think. So Stokely toweling off. He's just 16 and 9/10 seconds away from eliminating Karch, Corine, and Kent Steffes. (13-8). Karch wraps it hard, and Johnson had trouble with that one. This could do it. AJ sending it up, and Karch on 1. And it's out of bounds. So 8 seconds to go for Johnson and Stoklos. They are going to advance. Don't need too much strategy here. Just keep the ball in play. On 1 to Steffes. And Stokey with a dig. Time is running out, and that will do it. Johnson and Stoklos. Nope, still 5/10 of a second on the clock. So Johnson and Stoklos. And Stokey says, yes, we've done it.
It's a breakthrough win for them. They beat them last week in San Jose in the finals of the winner's bracket, but ended up losing the tournament.
Steffes up to Karch, and that will do it. A magnificent performance by Stoklos and Johnson. And Karch and Kent, their 7 tournament win streak is over. Steffes shakes the hand of Marvin Hall. Johnson and Stoklos are moving on to play in our... Johnson and Stoklos win it over Corine and Steffes. A big upset, 14-8.